Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and today it is time for the final eyeshadow palette ranking of 2025. This is a ranking of all the eyeshadow palettes I used in the month of December, so if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Before we get too far into the video, if you have not already, I would love if you consider subscribing. I upload new videos twice a week. It is totally free to subscribe and I would love to have you back in the channel for all things makeup. Alright, so some of these are years old, some of these are brand new to my collection. So this is going to be a really good roundup of does the new stuff stack up against the old stuff. I've got, I think if I counted right, 15 palettes this month, which is quite a lot for me to use in one month. But I've also had almost the last 2 weeks off work. I'm a public school teacher if you're new here, and so I've had some time off to have more just like play around with whatever I want and have time to do my makeup instead of like it's early and I have 10 minutes before I have to leave makeup. So this was also one of the hardest rankings I think I've had this year. There's so many good palettes in this one. So even what's at the bottom in place number 15, by no means am I gonna like avoid using it. Like, it's still good quality. A lot of this just boils down to preference, if I'm being honest. So in last place, this pains me, Blend Bunny, the plastic palette. I got this super cheap. I think they had it marked down to like $10 or less. And I do like that they did a smaller format, like less pans than some of their bigger palettes for sure. I don't know. It's not even the color story because it's pretty neutral to me. To me, I think the shimmers just didn't meet up to my expectations. I know they've messed around with their shimmer formula some and it's improved, but I like the shimmers from the Dollhouse palette better than this, to be honest. I don't know. They're not bad. I wouldn't even say they're lackluster. It's not that. I think there's just so many other crazy good quality things out there that I'm trying that like in comparison, this one just felt meh. Even though it's still a good palette. Hopefully that makes sense. Like I said on my Instagram post using this, like even though I felt like my eye look was meh when I used this, I went out shopping for some last minute Christmas presents and got multiple compliments on my makeup from strangers. So obviously it still looked good even though it felt kind of mundane to me. But maybe that means this is a good like everyday palette for when I am doing my work makeup and I have to do something quick and easy and functional out the door. Next up is a palette I pulled for the December hashtag bingo of shame collab. I'll leave that video linked if you haven't seen it. It was the Unearthly Cosmetics Dead of Night. Again, another palette that it is certainly not that it's bad quality. I love Unearthly Cosmetics. Have I tried anything from their brand that I've not really liked? Here's the palette. This one is more so the color story. Everything for the most part is just like deeper, darker, or mid-tone. I think this lavender and this gray are the only two that I can like make work as like a crease transition-y blend out shade for me. And I know some people say they don't need those shades or want those shades in palettes. So again, it's all preference. But you get, in my experience, just all very dark looks from this. And it's not that I dislike that, it's just not my absolute favorite. So again, it's a preference thing, it's a color story thing. I feel like if they expanded this and added a few more shades to get those like lighter mattes and or shimmers, then this one would be higher up than it is for me in this ranking. But it's still more interesting than the plastic palette, so it's rated higher. Next up is another Unearthly. This is the Gargoyle. Now, this one is the things that I said that the, what is the one I just said? Dead of Night. I forgot the name of it already. This one has things Dead of Night doesn't. It does have lighter mattes and shimmers in depth, and it is bigger, and I do feel like it has the variety. For a couple months, I've been trying to use this 10 uses as part of my deck of panning series. I did that finale already. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave it linked. I don't know what it is about this one that keeps me from reaching for it because I love like the sage green and berry tones in here. Yeah, I really can't tell you what it is. These are a really like dry, sparkly shimmer formula, and I personally do more like the emollient squishy putty. I know some people hate that. So I don't know if it's just that or what exactly. I like the looks I do with this one when I use it. I just don't find myself gravitating towards it for some reason. And for that reason, I'm like, well, I can't rank it up super high, even if it's good quality, if I'm not really wanting to use it or reach for it. Next up from Gourmand Girls is the Silent Night palette. I think this one was for an IG open collab as well. I really did like the look that I did with this one. It was the first time I had used this kind of silvery taupey peach shade, and I really liked it. This one is super high quality, and I, again, like the looks. It's just a little redundant. Like, I get having one more mid-tone brown and one deeper brown, but we've got two kind of deeper browns and then two kind of mid-tone browns. Now, I know this one is much lighter beige than this one. It's just a lot of brown. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brown shades. I get some are more cooler and some are warmer, so I understand why they're both there. And also Festive and Starry, the two blues, are pretty similar. One's a little more purple leaning and one's a little more pink leaning, I think, and Child and Silent Night. These are both deep navy blues. They look the same on the eye to me. Like, you wouldn't know the difference, I don't think. So this one, while I like the quality and the color story, there's a lot of repetition that I think it is a little redundant color story wise, is why it's not any higher. Next up from Salem Cosmetics. Salem Cosmetics does not currently exist. I love that brand so much, and this is their collab with Sassy Fairy, the In My Dreams palettes. This has those more like squishy shimmers that I was talking about that I really, really like. I really want to do a look centered around hallucination. I've got something planned for January that I think this palette's going to come in handy. But I like it a lot, and I like, although it's a 9-pan, how much versatility you get. Like, you can go red, pink, purple, blue, and this Stardust shade, I haven't done it yet, but I've been thinking about filming a video that's like eyeshadow palettes that I bought for one shade and like what the one shade is and swatching it and talking about those. If I end up doing that video, this shade and this palette, Stardust, is going to be in that video. I mean, I didn't buy it for this palette because I did not realize it's like one of those like bioluminescent fluorescent kind of shades that I love so much. But yeah, this palette is amazing. I think the only reason it's not higher is because couple things. One, I do feel like the purple matte and even the blue matte, they can get a little patchy. I usually can use like Rem and Sugar Plum to kind of blend and get it to look good, but on their own, I feel like they're a little patchy matte-wise to work with. And also, it is a very, like, you're gonna get red, blue, pink, or purple, like, it's limited as a 9-pan. As much as it is versatile for a 9-pan as compared to some of the other things coming next, those have more versatility. All right, next up from Lunar Beauty is the Moonshroom palette. This one came into my collection recently from Black Friday. And I love this color story so, so much. And I love the theming. I love the packaging, always do with Lunar Beauty. I liked the look I did with this one. The only reason it's not higher is because I'm not in love with their current shimmer formula. Again, I think it is just like the plastics. I mean, the shimmer formula is honestly, to me, maybe kind of like that in the plastics palette. There's nothing wrong with them per se. They're just not super sparkly, or super like textured dimensional. They're pretty like standard like flat, smooth, metallic. Some people love that. It's just not my personal preference. But the theming, the color story, the quality of the mattes, all the other things redeemed it enough that even though the shimmer formula isn't my favorite, that it still got this high on the ranking list. But that shimmer formula is what kept it from going any higher. Next up from Odin's Eye is the Snow Dream palette. So this was also pulled out for a Throwback Thursday open collab on Instagram, and I ended up using this a ton. Like, all my winter looks I just pulled from this one holiday themed palette. I have a lot of holiday themed palettes, but I don't know, I just kept going to this one. There is the traditional like red and green, but it's a little more muted and not so in your face. But I did a lot of other looks too with like the gold, or you can get like a pretty all over sagey green look with this one, red, purple. You can just do neutral with brown that I did with a sweater. There's like a gold with like silver looking reflect in it. Frankincense, of course, is the hollow chrome, but I kind of avoid her because she's a bit of a crumbly mess and doesn't really perform as well as some hollow chromes from some other brands in my opinion. And yet there's still, I don't think, Celebrate this purple. I don't think I've ever dipped into it. Looks like that might be that one, and Garland, this kind of like yellowy pressed powder matte, I think might be the only two in the palette so far that I've still managed to not touch. And yet Sweater and Hugs look like there's like a dip in the pan that I can visibly see from how many uses those shades have gotten. So yeah, this one, it's just an interesting eclectic color story, but it's muted color. I just organically was reaching for it a lot. It's definitely not my favorite of the month, but I put it up so high because I did reach for it so much. It has the mattes. I like that it has multiple different shimmer formulas. Some of them are more, if there's gonna be metallics that are more flat and smooth, I want it to be some of those mixed with something else, whether it's a more dry sparkly formula or like this one has the more like squishy textured dimensional looking formula. It's just got a lot going for it. And again, it's just, I don't know. It's not my favorite. It's not the most innovative, I feel like, color story, but it's really good. Okay, next up is another one I was just organically pulling a lot this month. I think the color story fit the month. The Aurora Struck. And I could see myself using this in January too. It's just also a lot of muted color. And it's just like the Snow Dream palette. It's got a lot of different kinds of shimmer formulas within it. And I like that you can mix around and go, but it's also like kind of a la Blend Bunny for some of their palette style, right? They've got like a blue row, a green row, a purple row. Like you can go down from top to bottom and it's like all the lights going down to the deep ones. And I know some people don't like it, but I like their like sparkle matte formula because it is so easy to blend and you don't really see the sparkles when you blend out. And I feel like this is a really, of color pop palettes, like this is a good quality palette. So super big, lots of possibilities, love the color story. I think it's just not any higher because there's no, like there are some duochrome shimmers, but there's nothing super like specialized shades like multi-chromes, hollow chromes, like that kind of stuff. I think is why it's not any higher. But we start getting into this like top tier and it was really hard that it's like, man, if you ask me on a different day, some of them could be interchangeable in spots. So I really like this one a lot. It just doesn't have like the extra special shimmers that I usually rank at the very top. I think we're down to number 7 now. This is the Fantasy Cosmetica Cradled in Ice. This is the first palette I've tried from them. This and the Harvest of Souls that are not the class palettes. This one's really pretty. It's mostly a neutral palette. I liked the look I did with it. I'm just not reaching for it a lot, I feel like, compared to some that are the very, very top. I still rated it higher than some of the others that I did say I did organically reach for because the shimmers are just on another level, elite-wise formula. And it's not even that I didn't like this, like the plastic didn't want to reach for it. I think I have so many palettes that I'm like paralyzed by palettes. Like, what do I use? And so sometimes I just go back to the same thing that's out or like the comfort palette over and over and over because that's just easy. And so if this wasn't out and in front of me after I used it that one time, like I probably didn't go back to it. But the matte formula and the shimmer formula, I think are the most consistent and best of all the palettes so far. Because like I said, there's ones like the Salem Cosmetics where the mattes I think are a little patchy. There's none of that in this. So I think, again, this one is the highest because even though I didn't reach for it the most and it's not the what am I trying to say? The most favorite color story. Even the Snow Dream that I went to a lot has that frankincense shade that is like crumbly, not good. So like for consistency on top of formula, on top of color story, on top of theming, like all of that together, put it this high. Just not higher because again, I'm not reaching for it more, and there's, I don't think any like multi-chromes in this one either, but really, really good shimmer formula. Next up is another new one to my collection from Black Friday. This is from Nomad Cosmetics. They had said they were discontinuing this one, not bringing it back once it sold out, so I decided to pick it up, the Nomad Royal Europe. And plus this gave me a chance to use their multi-chromes that I've never tried, Nomad's multi-chromes. And I really was worried they were going to be like too mid-tone, too dark. I do have a few from like Clionadh singles that are that more like deep jewel tone, but like Royal Treasure is the one I've used the most so far, and it was not too like overwhelmingly dark. The mattes were really good. They weren't too powdery or pigmented. Yeah, everything was really good. I think this one just didn't go higher because when it does come to the mattes, again, just like I talked about in another palette, it's more of the mid-tone to deeper. Like I could use one or two lighter mattes. And again, that's totally personally preference. This one got rated higher because they are that really nice, like the duochrome is really easy to see and apparent, and it's not like, hello, where is the duochrome? You're calling that a duochrome? They're good. But with the mattes and the full color story, it's not the favorite of the month. Okay, we're finally in the top 5. These are the best eyeshadow palettes I used all month. And number 5 is another Nomad that I picked up on Black Friday, the Berlin. I never picked this one up the first time around. This is the 10th anniversary re-release. So I wanted to pick it up not only because I missed it the first time around, but I have not picked anything up that's like Nomad's newer shimmer formula. Like the multi-chrome in the Royal Europe was a new formula to me. I know that they have also updated their shimmer palette since some of the older Nomad palettes that I know in my collection. And the older shimmer formula has never been my favorite. I've always felt like I needed to use a glitter glue or glitter primer to get them to like sparkle or shine or like really do much for me. So I wanted to know if this new shimmer formula was any different, and I'm happy to report it is. I did not use glitter primer or anything, and this is more of like a dry, super sparkly formula. Reminds me a lot of like the Unearthly Cosmetics Shimmer in the Gargoyle palette, that kind of a formula. And this is very much, someone commented on my Instagram post about this, and I totally agree. It's a very like metals kind of a palette. Like you've got bronze, gold, silver, and they are super, super sparkly, and it's fun that they added even like this pop of color, this green in here. So yeah, I really, really like this one, and it can be like an everyday neutral, but it is the like mixed metals kind of cool, grungy, you know, Berlin take of a neutral palette, but it's got a twist to it, and I really, really like that. I like the theming, the formula, like super happy with this one. Yeah, and I think ranked it higher just because I'm like pleasantly surprised with the formula, and I'm really loving and enjoying the newer formula from Nomad. That being said, nothing's too shifty in that one as far as multi-chromes and things. So for that, we're going to Terra Moons, the Ophiuchus, maybe I said that right, palette. These are really, really good quality. I love these shimmers. They've got one of those like super bioluminescent kind of like UV shades that I was talking about in this palette. Cool color story, cool theme. I love the cosmos and that whole concept. I think this one just didn't get out of 4th place because it is very green, blue, teal. Like it's, you can do a lot of looks, but like they're mostly gonna lean blue, green, teal. Like there's not a ton outside of that color story you can achieve with this. But I still rated this high because I was like, that's okay though, because when you have quality like this, I don't care what your color story is. Like it's amazing quality, but not enough to get it to be number 1 this month. All right, and number 3 is kind of an oldie from Unearthly. This is the Dreamer palette. This one is just one I reach to a lot when I need a glam moment. I like that it's got like part neutral with the gold and the brown and the silver, these holochromes. This Dream State holochrome, this is what Snow Dreams from Odin's Eye, I think, was trying to be. This one does it successfully and shows up the holochrome without being crumbly and getting all over your face. Yeah, this is just literally a dream. It's called the Dreamer palette. Purple and green are my 2 favorite eyeshadow colors to wear, so it shouldn't be too surprising with something that's got like kind of like purples. And I love a gray eyeshadow. I know not everybody does, but I really, ooh, this is a good one for me. That whole collection, the lipsticks, the face palette, like I love the Dreamer collection. In my heart of hearts though, like my creative side just, hello, look at my eye look today, always wants color. This is not on the ranking, by the way, because this is January when I'm filming this. I'm behind. This is the Dede Signature Blooming Basket, so that'll be part of January's ranking if you're wondering, but I'm always going to go for something a little more colorful when I'm feeling creative. This is just a glam moment, which has its time and place, but isn't my number 1. All right, and number 2 is an old Nomad palette. Now, I know I just said I've been loving the new formula, but Nomad, I don't think you watch my videos necessarily. I know you like my posts that I tag you in, but I don't know if you watch, but like, hear me out, okay? As much as I love your new formula, your new shimmers, this was peak, right? This is the Nomad Tokyo, the Harajuku palette. I literally took this with me to Harajuku, Japan when I went. It got lost in my luggage. I panicked because you can't get it anymore. Luckily, my luggage was salvaged, resolved, found. But this is like prized possession. Like if I haven't done one in a while, but if I did like top 10 palettes in my entire collection, this one would be in it. First of all, I like their satin formula that they used to do. I know a lot of people don't like satins, but I really like their satin formula. But these duochromes, please bring back this duochrome formula, Nomad, please. Like this specific one, I love these topper shade things so much. They're just elite, they are. And the sad thing to me is like some of these shades, especially in the toppers at the bottom on mine, you can't see the cute little, the orange I haven't used that much, you can see still. The cute little cat embossings are going away because I've used it now enough at this point that, like I said, especially in the shimmers, you cannot see them anymore. Yeah, and this one is just, man, this is one that I could probably hit pan if I really wanted to and not try that hard because I've used it that many times and I love it so much. The grays with the pastels is just, this was ahead of its time. I truly believe. There's only one other palette that just really left me like jaw dropped impressed this month that went above this one. All right, this is a newer release. Is it a newer release? Maybe it's been out for a while. What do I know? Okay, my memory card got full and cut me off, so I don't know where we were, but this is Frozen Kiss from Gourmand Girls. They did a post on Black Friday saying that there were certain palettes that they didn't think they'd be bringing back if they sold out. Sorry, my hair is doing a weird thing here, and it's bothering me to see it in the monitor here. There we go. Anyway, this was one that they said they didn't think they were going to bring back. And so I wanted to make sure I got it before it sold out. And then after the fact, they ended up saying, okay, we hear you. We're going to bring it back. So I thought it was being discontinued, right? But you can get it if you would like to get it. Here's the inside. Hello Innovation, first of all. I know this is not the first brand to do a shade but like this, but like, come on, that's cool. It's great quality. And even shades like this that are like, they're still kind of like marbled in a really cool way, these shimmers. Just again, like so cool to see something different and innovation from a brand. They've still got some that are like a little more smoother, like Dewdrops I feel like is a little bit more of a smoother texture than say even like Blue Star, the deep one over here. And I love the muted color, blue, green, peach, purple, like there's versatility. I don't know. This one, I just was blown away mostly by the shimmers when I put them on my eyes and was like, oh, this is something special. This is something unique. This is cutting edge. Like, this is where the new palettes outrank the old palettes. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes the new stuff is like a regurgitation of the old, but not this one. This is it, people. This is your Miss #1 palette of December 2025. So that is all the palettes, guys. I'm definitely going to be continuing this series in 2026. I know you all love my monthly palette rankings. I'm not going to rank all the palettes I used this year. There were, I think, 124 of them that I tracked that I used. And I know some people do rank all the palettes they use the whole year. But first of all, like, dude, I just can't. It's too much for me. As someone who has a full-time job and doing this, it's like too much. And I don't even know how I'm going to do my eyeshadow palette collection because I know you guys want that so bad and I want to do it for you. But like, it's an undertaking. But also, a lot of those palettes that I used this year, I used once. And I am sitting there looking at the list like, I don't know. Did I like it? What were my feelings about something I tried one time an entire year ago in January 2025 compared to what I used at the end of the year? Like, I feel like it would just be a ranking, but it wouldn't necessarily, like at that point, I'm like, unless I took notes about every palette as I used it throughout the year, which I don't currently do, I don't know how it would be an accurate ranking for you guys either. So it is what it is. You get 15, and thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end. I would love to know what's your favorite palette that you used either in all of 2025 or what's your favorite just from December. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much if you made it all the way to the end, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye!